Ask, if you can, to please stand for our national anthem. Welcome. Today is a commencement, a word that doesn't simply mean an end, but a beginning. This ceremony marks both the closing of one chapter and the start of what comes next. For the exceptional young people before us, this moment is the culmination of years of effort, growth, and determination. But it's also a launching point, an invitation to step forward into the unknown with courage and with purpose. Every year we look for a student, speaker who embodies the resilience, heart, and spirit of our school. This year's speaker is someone who truly defines the word persistence. Whether she was conquering tough algebra theorems, writing standout essays on civil rights, helping run a local catering business, or sharing her talent through the Congolese Nepali dance classes, Okolenina Biliganda has spent her high school career proving there is no challenge she cannot meet head on. In fact, one of Okolina's most meaningful moments here was when she turned the tables and actually became the teacher, delivering a powerful presentation about the Democratic Republic of Congo to our own faculty, bravely sharing her culture, her identity, and her story. She has a gift for connecting with people, whether they are teachers, she has known for years, or the strangers evaluating our school's accreditation. As she prepares to take her incredible work ethic into the world of healthcare, she is here to leave us with one final piece of wisdom and welcome. Please join me in giving a warm, enthusiastic welcome to Okolina Biliganda.
Good afternoon, families, friends, teachers, and community members. On behalf of the Winooski High School class of 2026, welcome and thank you for being here to celebrate this important milestone with us. Getting here today was not easy. I remember the mornings where I felt stuck, not coming to school, and I forced myself to get up. The times I felt behind, confused as deadlines approached, and the times I hadn't figured out my direction. I am overwhelmed with gratitude for the support and guidance I've received in and outside of Winooski throughout these years. From my very first day as a freshman, I met individuals who played an important role in shaping my high school path. Even though I can't name everyone who put an impact on my life during these years, I would like to personally thank Mr. Clark for helping me improve my writing and reading skills. I will certainly use these skills in college. I would like to also thank Sarah and Rubella from LB for helping me, for always providing me with opportunities to better my future and for their advice. Lastly, I would like to thank Ms. Louis for patiently working with me and for helping me grow as a student. Your constant encouragement and support has helped me overcome academic challenges and personal challenges about the future to come. I am especially grateful to the teachers, staff, mentors, and coaches who went above and beyond to help me succeed, as well as the friendships. Without your support and outstanding love for me and others, I wouldn't have made it to this day. These relationships improved my high school experience more than words can say. Thank you, Winooski, for creating an environment where I felt supported, encouraged, and empowered to grow. Class of 2026, we've gone on different adventures and turbulence together. I remember the canoeing trip back in September where we worked together kayaking, and saw how everyone relied on each other, which reminds me of how we all relied on one another through our college applications, academic support, and everyone cheering loudly during community meetings. Just like how we've gone through these tough waters, we will definitely get throughout any uncertainty that comes after high school. To the class of 2026, congratulations. We've made it. May God guide us through this journey. Amen. Welcome to the ceremony of 2026.
Let's give another round of applause to our band and our chorus. At this time, I would like to invite our 2025 Vermont Poetry Out Loud champion and 2026 graduate, Mackenzie Selemani, to the stage. So she may recite a poem.
Hi everyone, my name is Mackenzie Selemani, and today I'm going to perform I Remember by Thomas Hood. I remember the house where I was born. The little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day. But now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. I remember the roses, red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light, the lilacs where the robin built, and where my brother set the laburnum on his birthday. The tree is living yet. I remember where I was used to swing and thought the air must rush as fresh to swallows on the wing. My spirit flew in feathers then. That is so heavy now. And summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. I remember the fair trees, dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was a childish ignorance. But now, 'tis little joy to know I'm farther off from heaven than when I was a boy.
Thank you, Mackenzie. One of the greatest goals of education is to prepare students not just for the world, but to lead it. Our next speaker has done exactly that, blazing a trail before he's even received his high school diploma. While balancing the demands of his senior year, David DeStiso last summer successfully completed Husky's Summer Machinist Academy and entered the paid machinist apprenticeship program. He has been earning a competitive salary and building advanced skills in manufacturing, all while finishing his high school career. David's exceptional work ethic is already making an impact on our Winooski community and paving the way for future students to follow in his footsteps. David knows exactly what it means to work hard, to manage responsibilities, and to build a bridge to the future. Please join me in both congratulating and welcoming David DeStiso, this year's recipient of the Work-Based Learning Pathmaker Award.
Sorry. I'm fine. Hello, everyone. Oh, is this not on? It is on. I lied. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, staff, students, guests, family, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2026. I didn't want to stand up here and give the same speech we're all so used to hearing. You know, the one, the world is your oyster, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to work out. Instead, I wanted to try my best to really spark a sense of urgency underneath each and every one of you. Besides, after 12 years, I think we've all learned something a little more interesting. Over the last 4 years, I've carried this small beat-up book in the bottom of my backpack called Letters from a Stoic. I've read it more times than I care to admit, not because I think I'm especially wise, but because every time I read it, it seems to answer a different question. One idea from the book has really stayed with me. We're always told life is short, but Seneca, the author, argued something different. He said life is actually quite long, long enough if we choose to use it well. The problem is not that we do not have enough time, but rather that we spend so much of it on things that don't matter. If the last 4 years have taught us anything, it hasn't just been algebra or essay writing. Instead, we've learned about uncertainty. We've grown up in a world where everyone seems convinced they have the answer. Every politician promises certainty. Every institution claims to know the way forward. And every social media feed is filled with people acting like they figured it all out. But if there's one thing that I have learned, it's everyone is equally as lost. Some are simply better actors. Seneca wrote something that feels especially relevant today. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. How many times have we imagined failure before we even tried? How many conversations have we rehearsed in our head that never came to fruition? How many opportunities have we avoided because we convinced ourselves of an outcome that wasn't even real? So many of our fears come from living in a future that does not exist. We imagine the worst possible outcome and then react as if it's already happened. The Stoics understood something important. We may control far less than we think we do, but we also control far more than we care to admit. We don't control the economy that we're graduating into. We don't control world events or wars, and we don't control whether our plans work out exactly as we plan them. What we do control is our choices. We control whether we act with courage when we're scared. We control if we keep on after failure, and we can control what we spend our precious time on. That is where the idea of free will becomes important, not in some giant philosophical debate, but in the thousands of small decisions that slowly become a life. Because when we leave here today, none of us really know what's next. Some are heading to college, some entering the workforce, some even joining the military service. Some of us are going to take a little bit of time to figure things out, and that's okay. That is not a weakness. That's life. No one has a map. Nobody has all the answers, and if someone tells you they do, they're lying. The truth is, uncertainty is not the enemy. It's the truth, and it is the price of freedom. The fact that we don't know exactly what comes next means that what we choose to do matters. There's something about graduation speeches that's a little strange. They're all written assuming that we have all the time in the world, but the truth is none of us are guaranteed another year. None of us guaranteed another week. None of us are even guaranteed tomorrow. Strangely enough, I don't find that depressing. I find it freeing, because if our time is limited, then what we choose to do with it matters. The trip you've always wanted to take matters. The risk you've been afraid to take matters. That conversation you've been putting off, the person you want to become, these all matter. Too many people spend their lives waiting for permission to live, waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Perfect doesn't come. Plagued with the question, when will I know I'm ready? You won't. It's a leap of faith. That's all it is. Don't let other people decide what deserves your attention. Life is long enough to do meaningful things with it. Things that matter to you, not your friends, not your family, and definitely not whoever's watching on social media. And while none of us can control everything that happens to us, we can control what we do next. That choice does belong to us. If you've heard anything I ask that you hear this. Don't spend your life preparing to live it. Go somewhere, learn something meaningful, fall in love with a place, a person, or an idea. Grab whatever matters to you and don't let go. Class of 2026, whatever path you take from here, I hope you choose it deliberately. I hope you spend your time on things that matter to you. And I hope you remember that your future isn't something that happens to you. It's something that you build one choice at a time. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations, class of 2026.
Our faculty speaker today is someone whose roots run right here, deeply into this city. She is a proud graduate of Winooski High School, a dedicated Winooski resident, and an educator who embodies what it means to give back to the community that raised her. Her connection to the class of 2026 is truly extraordinary. 13 years ago, for many of you sitting there in your caps and gowns, she was the very first person to welcome you to school. She knew you when you were learning to tie your shoes, practicing your ABCs, and sitting on the rug in kindergarten. To go from guiding your very first steps in education to watching you take these monumental steps across the graduation stage is a rare and profound gift. There is truly no one better suited to send you off into the world than the person who helped you start your journey. Please give a warm, enthusiastic welcome to your neighbor, your fellow alumna, your former kindergarten teacher, and today's education speaker, Jessica Perrott.
Good afternoon, administration, faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2026. 13 years ago, many of you walked into my kindergarten classroom with oversized backpacks, Velcro shoes, and a mix of emotions that ranged from pure excitement to fear of the unknown. Back then, your biggest problems were who got to use the blue crayon first, or learning how to use scissors, and fighting over who got to be the line leader. That was a big one. I've had the rare gift of a front row seat to your entire childhood. I've witnessed moments from that first missing tooth smile in kindergarten to the enthusiasm over reading something new and engaging in my 4th grade reading class, all the way to your high school years, where I've watched you grow into the fierce, capable young adults you've all become today. I've watched you learn how to read, write, navigate social situations, become curious about the world around you, and create goals and dreams for the future. Throughout it all, you've stayed close with your friends and family and shown real loyalty and kindness in everything you do. I can't help but reminisce about the experiences that we've shared over the years. I remember a cold winter day in kindergarten when we all came to school in our pajamas. We drank hot chocolate together and watched the Polar Express. In 4th grade, the most memorable day was our trip to Jay Peak Water Park. What a great day that was, swimming, floating in the lazy river, and speeding down the water slides. Then came high school. We've had so many amazing trips. The Essex Family Fun Center, Maz's Corn Maze, the escape room, and outdoor laser tag, just to name a few. I feel so lucky to have been with you all throughout these years. As you leave, I have 3 final lessons, ones that we learned in kindergarten, but they still matter now. Lesson number 1. Keep sharing your crayons. In 5-year-old terms, that meant being kind. But in the real world, it means being a team player and a collaborator. The most successful people aren't the ones who hold on to everything for themselves. They're the ones who make the room better for everyone else by moving beyond just doing your part to actively working with others to achieve shared goals. Teamwork and kindness will get you far in life. Lesson number 2, it's okay to take a nap. Life is going to get fast very quickly. You're going to feel pressure to hustle every single second. Remember that even the most energetic kindergartner needs a moment to recharge. Be patient with yourself when you're tired. Never forget to put your needs first and take care of your personal health. Taking care of yourself is essential because it forms the foundation for your academic success, career performance, and overall quality of life. Lesson number 3, be curious. In elementary school, you asked why 100 times a day. Somewhere along the line, we start worrying about having the right answer instead of asking the right question. Keep asking questions in college and in your careers. Asking why helps you challenge assumptions and think diversely. It helps you become an active, curious participant in your lives. Never lose that 5-year-old's wonder. I met you when you were learning to write your name. And today, I'm watching you write the first chapter of your own history. It has truly been a privilege and an honor to witness your journey. You were my kids back then. You're my students now, and you will be my pride and joy forever. Congratulations, class of 2026. Go make your younger selves proud.
For our next speaker, for the past 4 years, the class of 2026 has been writing an incredible story. And while you have been busy living it, our next speaker was quietly, beautifully capturing it. As our Director of Communication, Miriam Greenfield, has a truly unique vantage point in our school. Through the lens of her camera, she is a first-hand witness to your journey. She was there in the quiet focus of your classrooms, the energy of the hallways, the daily laughter of the cafeteria. She was there on the sidelines, running down the sidelines of the field, corps, and track, freezing the greatest athletic triumphs in time. Most importantly, she was there for celebrations of learning, big and small. Because she spent so much time looking through that lens, Miriam just didn't take pictures, she built relationships. She saw the grit when things were tough, your joy when you succeeded, and the true essence of who you are as a class. No one has seen you quite the way she has. There's truly no better person positioned to reflect on the journey and send you into the next chapter than Miriam Greenfield. Please welcome Miriam Greenfield to the stage.
Good afternoon, graduates, families, educators, staff, and the Winooski community. When I first got to Winooski, I didn't know anyone. I remember walking through the building and wondering where I fit in, or if I did at all. Then something happened that I didn't expect. A sophomore came up to me on the soccer field and introduced herself. A freshman did the same thing a little later. No big moment, no announcement, just a simple hello. But it told me everything I needed to know about this place. So before I say anything else, I want to start there. with what it feels like to be seen and what it means when a community chooses to welcome someone in. Because that's what I've experienced here. Kindness. And that's the first thing I want to talk about today. Rule number 1, be kind. The kind of kindness where you show up for people, where you stand up for people, where you treat everyone with respect. The kind where you understand that everyone is carrying something you cannot see. Be that helping hand for someone. Some of the most important people in my life were teachers. As I stand here today, I picture Mr. C, my social studies teacher, and Mr. Schultz, my English teacher. They were tough. They challenged me. They taught me how to think. They taught me how to write. More importantly, they taught me how to be a good human being. I would not be standing here today without them. Never underestimate the impact one person can have on your life. And honestly, several of you graduating today have impacted my life in that way too. Rule number 2, work hard. Follow through, get things done. When I was younger, I knew I wanted to work in sports, but I didn't exactly know how I was going to get there. But I knew what I wanted, and I worked to achieve it. I worked hard and kept showing up. I spent more than 25 years at ESPN and was fortunate enough to be a part of teams that won 6 Emmy Awards. But this is what I'm most proud of, and it's not the awards. I'm most proud of the relationships that I built and the trust that I earned. People remember how you treat them. They remember whether you showed up. They remember whether they can count on you. That matters more than titles ever will. And speaking of hard work, I think about my grandfather a lot. We called him Pop-Poor. Pop-Poor immigrated to the United States from Rhodes when he was 12 with his older brother and mother. They didn't speak English. He used to tell us stories about arriving in America and being amazed there was toilet paper in the bathrooms. Pop-Poor worked incredibly hard. He owned a luncheonette in New York, which is where he met my grandmother, Mamor. And even after raising a family and working for decades, he earned his bachelor's degree in his 60s. My mother was a teacher. My father was a teacher. My aunt and uncle were teachers. Education mattered in my family because opportunity mattered. Keep learning, keep growing. It's never too late to become something new. And finally, the most important rule I can give you is keep climbing. Life is going to throw a lot at you, sometimes more than you think you can handle. In 2012, I had a stroke. 4 years later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Not long after that, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Then I hurt my back that left me unable to walk for months, and that eventually led to spinal fusion surgery. There were moments when everything felt impossible, and if I'm being honest, there was a point where I completely lost myself. At one of the lowest moments, someone gave me advice I would never forget. Keep climbing. Not sprinting, not pretending everything is okay, just keep climbing, one step at a time. One of the people that reminded me of this was a girl I met years earlier while working on a story for ESPN and Make-A-Wish. She had already been through so much. At 12, she received a heart transplant. Years later, when I was diagnosed with cancer, she reached out to me and said, "You are going to fall, and that's okay. Just get back up. Keep climbing." I've carried those words with me ever since. So graduates, when life knocks you down, and at some point it will, remember this. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to move fast. You don't have to be perfect. Just keep going. I've only known many of you for 3 years, but watching you grow, watching you support each other, watching your resilience, your pride in who you are and where you come from, it has meant more to me than you probably realize. At one of the lowest points of my life, this community showed up for me. And you welcomed me before I fully realized how much I needed. So today, take this all in. Remember your friends. Remember your teachers. Remember the people who believed in you before you believed in yourself. and wherever life takes you. Be kind, work hard, stand up for what's right, build trust, take care of each other, and when life gets hard, because it will, get back up, one step at a time. Keep climbing. Congratulations.
The Winooski Honors Award is a distinction given to graduating seniors who have completed all 6 graduation expectations, or GX, capstone projects. These students have gone above and beyond graduation requirements. Students who have achieved this honor are wearing a gold cord. As I read your name, please stand and be recognized. Okalina Belaganya. Jacoby Hammett. Nima Isidore. Joyce Mukamba. Ari Reza. Samantha Secor. Mapenzi Salamani. And Eliza Willis. The Kyle Tipson Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship is given in memory of Kyle Tipson, a graduate and lifelong member of the Winooski community. It is given to 2 students who are continuing their education and have participated in sports for the last 2 years. This year's recipients are Ellie Young and Abhishek Dahal. The Maida F. Townsend Scholarship is given to a student who has demonstrated a love of learning, an openness to the richness of differences among people, and a willingness to use their time and talent in service of others. This year's recipient is Nabina Basnet. The Carol L. Kessler Memorial Scholarship is an award presented to students who have succeeded academically, demonstrated a love of life, acted as a role model or mentor to peers, and who are intending to continue their education at a post-secondary institution to pursue a career in healthcare or a related field. This year's recipients are Alicia Gurung and Leila Hussein. The Academic Excellence Scholarship is presented to students who have excelled academically during their time at Winooski High School. This year's recipients are Emily Frigie and Izzy Johnson. The Nicholas Coussin Ducharme Athletic Scholarship is given in memory of Nicholas Coussin Ducharme to one hardworking, dedicated student athlete who has participated in athletics throughout their high school career, while also demonstrating outstanding leadership qualities. This award is presented to a student who excels in their schoolwork, while also being a member of their beloved sports teams. This year's recipient is Jacoby Hammett. The Winooski School Board Scholarship is awarded to 2 graduates who have demonstrated that they are in process of upholding the WSDN statement. They are college and career ready, leading healthy, productive, and successful lives, and engaging with their local and global community. This year's recipients are Mapenzi Salamani and Ari Reza. The Bill Everts Memorial Scholarship is given in memory of Bill Everts, longtime Winooski resident and coach. He was a dedicated fan and supporter of Winooski students and athletes. Bill was a professor at Champlain College for over 30 years and the first in his family to attend college. This recipient is first generation in their family to attend college. This year's recipient is Samantha Secor. The Winooski Education Association Scholarship is presented to an individual entering the field of education in recognition of exceptional contributions to school activities and all-around excellence in academics. This year's recipients are Iris Pass and Nora Heichel. The Skills and Trades Scholarship is given to a graduating student who will be furthering their education in a skill or trade, and this year's recipient is Kiana Lee Hill. The Challenge Scholarship is presented to a well-rounded, motivated student who has overcome obstacles in becoming a high academic achiever. And this year's recipient is Fahado Ahmed. The John J. Malkovsky Community Service Scholarship is given to a deserving student who has participated actively in community service. This year's recipient is Natalie Jasu. The PTO Education Scholarship is presented to a student who is pursuing a career in education and who has displayed community involvement through school or work experience. This year's recipient is Taylor Sweeney. The PTO Scholarship is presented to 2 students who have shown overall commitment and involvement with Winooski High School in multiple and varying ways. This year's recipients are Albina Rai and Muthale Tu. The Leadership Scholarship is given to students who have demonstrated outstanding leadership qualities and who exemplify positive impact. This year's recipients are Lourdes Star and Okalina Belenganya. The Persistence Award is a scholarship given to 2 students who have shown perseverance through all they faced to make it to high school graduation and plan to pursue a post-secondary education. This year's recipients are Legacy Sinclair and Omar Turnage. The class of 2013 scholarship is for a senior who has demonstrated dedication to their class and exhibited a genuine care and respect for Winooski High School. This year's recipient is Pratiksha Damala. The Rising Above Scholarship is awarded to a student who has shown remarkable growth throughout their time in high school and overcome adversity to prepare themselves for their next steps. This year's recipients are Kai Hempel and Joyce Mukamba. The WPP Student Community Impact Scholarship, presented by the Winooski Partnership for Prevention. This scholarship recognizes students who have demonstrated leadership, positive decision-making, and a commitment to strengthening their school and community through their participation in the Above the Influence program. This year's recipients are Natalie Jassou and Layla Hussein. Governor Hoff Vermont Honor Scholarship. One student from each high school in Vermont is selected for this long-standing statewide honor. It is awarded to a student with outstanding academic achievement and involvement in extracurricular activities and/or community service who will be enrolling at a post-secondary educational institution. This year's recipient is Eliza Willis. Each year, the University of Vermont asks each high school in the state to select one student they believe has demonstrated the highest of academic skills and rigor. This student is nominated and, if accepted, receives a full tuition scholarship to the university. This year's Vermont Green and Gold Scholarship is awarded to Samantha Secor. And that concludes scholarship and awards.
All right, we've gotten to the point where this is the time you've all been waiting for. I'm going to ask for some assistance from the stage with our board chair and superintendent. Starting with our first graduate, Fahaldo Ahmed. Ayub Ali. Nabina Bosnet. Jada Beaupre. Ethan Bevins. Okalina Vilagana. Abisak Dahal. Jalen Bohannon. Pratisha Dahmala. Afia Dejan. David DeSisto. Natalie Jesu. Emily Lillian Frigi. Michael Gray. Alicia Garung. Priyanka Garung. Jacoby Hammett. Nora June Hakel. Kai Madison Hempel. Muthole 2. Kiana Lee Ann Hill. Layla Hassan Hussein. Dolma Sherpa Yulmu. Izzy Ingham. Nima Isadore. Isabel S. Johnson. Chloe Miriam Lynch. Jameson Matthews. Joyce Mukamba. Caden Perez. Iris Marie Poss. Albina Rye. Ari Rizah. Mikey Schmoll. Samantha Secor. Mapenzi Salamani. Legacy M. Sinclair. Lourdes Starr. Taylor J. Sweeney. Marissa M. Silvestri. Nerusha Temang. Harley Matthew Treya. Omar Turnage. Asa D. Whelan. Eliza D. Willis. Jean-Pierre Youngo. And Ellie Young.
To conclude our graduation ceremony, we must do one final act. The tassel on the right symbolizes your time as a student. I now invite you to move your tassel from the right to the left to confirm your newfound graduate status from Winooski High School. Congratulations to the class of 2026.